Okay, so I want to go into a little bit more of this. I did this morning for period 7. Um, I want to show you guys again how we go about doing this. Portrait and vector. So you guys drew your color by number scenario. Some of you guys got a lot of the details that you needed. Some of you guys didn't maybe quite understand how detailed you needed to be. And so what we can do is you guys can, at this point, you guys can go and trace information directly off the photograph if need be. And I think that you guys will remember that we want to go with 3 zones of value. So what that means is new layers over here on my layers palette. I'm going to create a box, and I'm going to hit the letter I, and I'm going to sample the brightest flesh tone, drag a copy. So that's the black arrow, click and hold it, Option Shift, drag it. Oh, that's the corner widget. That needs to go away. Hide corner widget. Okay, click and hold, Option Shift key, drag a copy. Letter I is the eyedropper tool. Let's go and sample the middle value brown. Let's go in here somewhere. Maybe right in here. Okay. Black arrow, click and hold, Option Shift, drag a copy out here. And let's go and grab this area in here. And there's the darkest brown, perhaps a little bit more subtle. Maybe right in there. Okay? That's what I'm going to go with. So the task is we're going to go in here, and you've got the silhouette drawn to begin. And the reason why we want to draw the silhouette is going to be pretty evident in a minute. So I'm going to copy this so I have it. Lock this one, and I don't want to have the eyeball showing so that I can put it away for now. I'll get that and see what I got going on in a little bit. So the first thing I did is I drew all the high value area. Okay. So if I click on this, get rid of the fill color, you can see that I'm just going in here and I'm going, okay, the highest value, this whole area, probably going for this color right here. I'm not getting white. I'm just going and saying I have to make a summary of the color. So I'm going to just go in here and get the average and figure that it's about that color and go draw this whole shape. And within the body, I got to be pretty definitive. Okay. Down here, this didn't work out, so I'm going to get the pencil tool, letter N, or go over here to the pencil tool. And you can click and you can drag and reconstitute that information and get rid of this unnecessary information. And what I did with this is I drew the inside to the best of my ability, and then I went and I continued to draw because outside is initially I drew something like this. So I just am concerned about what's going on in here, and because I have the silhouette, I just go all the way out here. Why? Because I have the silhouette, right? And I copied the silhouette. So as you know, the silhouette is still floating in a limbo. We call it the clipboard. Since it's still there, I can hit Command F, and I get this. And I'm going to get rid of the fill on it so I can see what I'm doing. And hit the black arrow and the Shift key and marquee over this. So I've got this art information that I'm looking for and the silhouette. And what I want to do is I want to cut this edge off. So I'm going to hit that button right there. So that's initially how I arrived at this, is that I drew the inside correctly, or the best of my ability, came outside, closed it, used the silhouette to cookie cut the contour, and that's going to help me to keep all my artwork to be, you know, as neat and refined as possible and save myself time, because then I don't have to go in here and try to retrace this exactly and get frustrated if it doesn't line up perfectly. And there you are, okay? So I went through and I did the same thing on the opposite side. Used this, I went and drew the middle value area being, getting rid of the fill. So I'm determining that this is the middle value area. And then right here, actually, I would say I could reinstitute this. And again, you can do this when you have your pencil tool. Okay? And again, I went and I drew the inside with a little bit of care, and then I came down here and went all the way out and closed up here. pasted the silhouette on top. So I'm going to make a mock-up again. Command F, there's the silhouette. Letter V for the black arrow quick key. And I just want to keep the overlap. And remember, the overlap is the third option. Remember these graphics down here? If it's on top, it cuts through the bottom and leaves this, and it disappears. So if it's an outline with no fill in it like this, that means that the box is initially there, and after you click on it, it goes away. This one shows that the overlapping area, meaning this area right here, is going to stay. This area out here and this area out here is going to go away, which is what I want. This one shows that this overlap will go away. This will stay, that'll stay. Okay, so what happened? Command Z. I'm going to go with my black arrow and click on this, double click. Somehow or another they're grouped, ungroup. Okay, let's try this again. All right, shift click, overlap, and there it is. Then I'll go in here with my letter I and sample that color, and let's see where we are right now. Okay. Lastly, I went and I got the darkest dark right in here. And you sample this color. So now I've got the silhouette. Let's get rid of the photograph for now. Got rid of this. Okay, so there's a silhouette. Spacebar. There is the base color, flush. There's the middle value. There's the darkest dark. There's a little higher value that's on the top. This should probably be this color. I did a trick on this, but I haven't shown you guys that, so I'm going to undo that. So inside the eye shape, there's a higher value of the eye, and then this goes around and it gets darker as you go around the edges, you know, as it curves backwards into the socket. That's why it looks like that. And then I go in there and I added this eye. And like I said before, this was a circle, copy and paste on top, Option Shift, reduce this circle, copy paste on top, Option Shift, reduce this circle, and same thing with this. And then I copy and I paste this. So let's just do it real quick. Because again, how many people walk around with their eyes wide open so that you can see the top and the bottom of their eye? Not many. There's the black, Command C, Command F, Option Shift, go get this gradient. And you should remember how to do the gradient. That was like first week we did that. This is your gradient tool where you can click and drag it in the direction you want it to be. Black arrow, Command C, Command F, click and hold, Option Shift, drag it down. Bloodthirsty, heartless, small pupil. Warm, loving, bigger pupil. I think that's why Dwayne Johnson's a hero that everybody really relates to, is because he doesn't look bloodthirsty. He's always got these like Puss in Boots eyes in the Shrek movie, when you remember that moment when he's pleading for help. Command C, Command F, click and hold, Shift, drag it up, and you can go with this high value. You can even go white if you wanted to exaggerate it, because again, that's why we do illustrations as opposed to taking photographs or replicating photographs, exactly, because we're trying to bolster it. So copy and paste this eye and use it. It's copy to cut this. We want the overlap to remain. Command F, because it's already copied, it's floating there waiting for us to copy it and paste it down again. Third option right there. And then that's all we have to do, because these two aren't affected, whereas this one is affected. We would have had to Pathfinder that. Okay? Command Shift letter A deselects. And now he's looking like a Cyclops, because he shouldn't have a third eye on his forehead. But you get the point. No pun intended to vector anchor points. Get that? A little bit of Illustrator humor. Lastly, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to show you, again, your pencil tool. Double click on the pencil tool. We slide this all the way over for accuracy. So that means if I scribble and I get 1,000 anchor points, it's going to do exactly what my hand did. If you slide this all the way over to the right, however, it's going to abbreviate your hand motion. And instead of that, it might go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it really abbreviates the information, and I don't want that. I can always get rid of information. I can't always add information as easily. You want to be able to edit selected paths, and you want this to be within 20 pixels. And what that means is that if I draw over here and I have to reposition my hand, as long as I'm within 20 pixels, it connects it for me. So, last thing. This area right in here, this doesn't make any logical sense. You don't get a highlight of color that jumps from high value to black. There's always a transition from high value to middle value to black. It's a gradual transition. So with my pencil, I selected this, and with my pencil tool, I can go and begin over this, and I can do a transitional stage, and then as long as I resume on the path, that's going to work. And that makes a lot more sense. Okay? And that's how we do this. Now, I lied. One more thing. You click on this. You want this to be closer to this value or a little bit darker than this value. Select this, sample that. And then up here, your color palette, you click here and you show your options, whereas I'm hiding them. If I do it now, you can show them. And this shows you, this is the color that it is. If I hit the Shift key, click the furthest most to the right, I can drag it over and I can get a tint of that same color. Okay? So I'm going to go in reverse. I'm going to sample this color, Shift key, furthest most left, and lighten the value there. Click on this, Shift on this brown, Shift key, drag it even higher value. And this is how you get color that relates to each other. You continue with unity being established as a result because you're using the same color, you're just adding white to the same color, or you could add black to the same color for a shade or white to the color to tint it. Okay? But it's the best bet to go Shift key so you get all 4 sliders to go concurrently. One more time, click there, Shift, drag it. Okay, and again, don't forget to use that Pathfinder tool, it really helps. Let's go one more time with this. Get the silhouette. Oh, this works. Command C, Command F, Shift click on this shadow, go to the Pathfinder, and we want the overlap to remain. Oh, this is great. This is something that happens once in a while, and it shouldn't because this is designed to be a one-click option now. But back when, it used to be such that it was mandated that you always hit the option key prior to clicking on this. So with that knowledge, I understand that if I did that, it might work. And so a few years ago, I thought, why isn't it working? And I hit the option key, and I clicked on this, and it works. The information's still there, but you can see that it looks right. And then I realized, oh, the expand button's there, and that's going to get rid of this information down here, watch. So that's something you're not going to get taught in any book. It's one of those things where if you've got the experience, you'll understand how it used to be, and that it doesn't really change that much. You can still fix it up. Okay? And with that, I'll leave you guys and see you guys soon.